me, Clarence.
Oh! Richie, it's him. You might think you got some direct connection to God, but God gave me this ass to do as I please. And if you even think about touching this ass again, I'm gonna call the cops on your ass. And let's see you and God talk your ass out of that one.
Now listen, if those police officers thinking about getting home, getting a piece of ass, they would not have beat Rodney King the way they did. Rodney King was a messenger.
Another one of your sermons.
Love and making love is the answer to the world's problems.
No, Mr. Preacher. It will never happen. It will never happen, Mr. Stuttering Preacher.
You can meet people every day. If you give someone at least a chance to present themselves, you may find them that you may like those people. Because someone has a different occupation, looks a little differently, maybe have dress a little differently, doesn't mean that they're not. That doesn't mean that they're not honest. Doesn't mean they can't believe in God. And there is a spirituality here in the play. The language of the play itself is smart. It's adult. It's intellectual. And it triggers the things of, I think, an artistic piece should be for our day and time. The Stuttering Preacher. The Stuttering Preacher is written by Levy Lee Simon. And the story is, I see it through the eyes of Ife, which is the female character. Ife is telling her story of how she has really become a little separated from men at the time because she's had some rough relationships. So now she's at a point of her life where she's trying to just concentrate on her career and her poetry and be introspective on herself. And she's at a dinner party which was given by a dear friend of hers. And Reverend Jackson, who comes with the date, his date is the girlfriend to her friend that she's given a dinner party for. So she meets Reverend Jackson at a dinner party. And Reverend Jackson, he's attracted to her instantly. And while the dinner party is going on, he strikes up a conversation with her. And his forwardness and tone is starting to turn her off, but his charms and good looks is substantiating the whole romance at this point in their career, as they meet.
Yeah, I see like they got good carrot cake, and that carrot cake sure likes you.
I don't want a piece that big.
Why you gonna keep all that ass if you don't eat it? Carrots ain't give you all that ass.
What did you say?
I said...
Never mind. Aren't you here with somebody?
Yes, and?
And aren't you disrespecting her?
Disrespecting her? How am I doing that?
Well, if I was out on a date with my man, I wouldn't want him coming on to other women.
Well, see, me and her, we have an understanding.
An understanding? What's that?
Well, see, I'm not her man or anybody's man. I'm my own man. Now, we may come together, but that don't mean I got to spend the night if I see something better.
So at this dinner party, he pursues her, and then he starts calling her without her giving him her telephone number.
How's Ife? What? Who is? Never mind. How did you get my number?
So that's a mystery there, and her part saying, like, how did you get my telephone number? And he's coming off like he's Mr. I can do anything kind of preacher. And she doesn't believe that he's a preacher because of his forwardness.
I ain't like the idea of him coming on to me with his girlfriend at the party. But I got to admit, I was curious. I wanted to know where that stuttering came from. And I wanted to know if he was really a preacher. And I wanted to know if he stuttered when he preached.
Not only is he forward, he says he's a preacher, but he also now he stutters. So I think those are the kind of layers that you need to make the play interesting. Because it seems like to me, you're sitting there saying, when I first read the play, I'm saying, now what the next play? What is this guy going to say next? That's going to trigger her or what Ife is going to be saying next, and that's what intrigued me about the play.
But I had never in my life heard a man talk to me like that. It's going to be some pee passed around. How dare you talk to me like that? You know what? This was a bad idea. Yep. Forget about lunch, dinner, roast beef, green eggs, and ham.
Well, I didn't mean nothing by it.
The conversation starts to wear at her more and more, saying that I'm starting to relent, let him in my life a little bit because of his charm, and she's starting to really believe that he's a genuine human being, and he genuinely loves God, and he's falling in love with her. and he confesses that love in his apartment.
I'm asking you to marry me.
Marry you? You must be out your damn mind. Me, marry you, a preacher, a fornicating, stuttering preacher.
Audience is definitely an adult audience, and I say adult, that's anyone from, 18, a sophisticated 18-year-old on up.
I want someone to rise in the morning. I want someone having lunch in the afternoon. And when I'm having dinner in the evening time. And hallelujah for some of my prayers at night. And you think you can handle that?
The reception has been absolutely wonderful. And I've been getting so many surprises from different people. You think sometimes that because people have gray around their temples that seeing something that's risque in tone, they have a different concept. But of course, they've lived their lives. They've heard and seen these scenarios that we're doing on the stage, so they can relate. And I've had people, especially women, and come up to me and thank me and give me the biggest hug because they just had a great time. It was a great, entertaining moment for them.
And I know there's some women out there scratching their heads. And maybe I'm not supposed to be the representative of all women. And maybe I don't have the answer. And no, I don't know if I'm going to be able to prove you wrong.
If you're ready to come out and laugh, come on out. If you're ready to come out and enjoy some, a new slant on theater, and I say new slant meaning that it's not a 2-hour play. So that's a big difference there. It's not sitting for 2 hours, and it's an hour and 20 minutes at the most. And in that compact time, it's you're caught up into the story. And time you finally realize that you've got the story and everything is happening, it is over with. Well, there are times when the stutter just wants to happen, and it doesn't have to be on words like repeat or feisty, for instance, but the tone just has to work itself away in sometimes, and we all have a sort of like we all have a little stutter, sometimes we kind of catch up and then try to get your thoughts together.